도시형.
Hello and welcome to Game 2. We have, as the red Korean jumble of
that
letters.
Actually says NSH.Tassadar.
Okay, so every letter is just a sound?
How it works is there's letters that form syllable blocks in Korean. So it's actually an alphabetic language like English, but where we put our letters, in a row, they put their letters in little blocks that make up the syllables in the words.
I see.
Yep, there you go. The more you know.
Oh, NSH.Tassadar.
Yeah.
I see it.
You see it now.
That's
See, it's so easy. See, Josh, you just learned how to read Korean. Just like that. It's that fast.
Now I understand all Korean. But NSP.Tassadar is now just NSHoSeo Tassadar, and he is the red Protoss over here on the left side of Sandshorn Mist AE, which I think is an interesting map choice by NSH, going against Mr. FXO.GuMiho, who actually, I wouldn't say he destroyed Sting.
He beat him pretty badly.
Did.
He did. It was pretty one-sided.
I mean, but it was close-ish. I mean, for a while.
It was, well, it's like their supply was close, but I feel like GuMiho always kind of had the lead, and I mean, he just played a more solid game. I mean, you just definitely saw a very good player go up against an amazingly good player right there.
I mean,
so yeah, it's just pretty one-sided, but that's how it is when you go up against a Towel Terran. But yep, Tassadar used to be on the NSP clan. It's a pretty big clan in Korea. Players like Genius,
who's
an
is
MVP,
the one
came out of NSP.
Remember.
Yep, there's a lot of other ones too.
But Tassadar actually sending incredibly fast probe scout here just to see what's up with GuMiho. He is going to actually go with that quick gas again, GuMiho is. So picking up that vital information there before probably returning home. He definitely doesn't want to get caught in there by a supply depot or a marine. So he's going to get out of town right now. Back at his base, he's just got the very standard stuff going on so far. First gateway, second pylon, assimilator already complete. And Cybernetics Core should be right on time for this standard Protoss opening. Now, the tricky thing with Protoss right now when they scout like that is you'll see the gas a lot of times at the Terran base, but you don't know now if they're going to go 1-1-1 or if they're going to go some sort of like barracks expand. A lot of Terran players will be getting gas, and then as soon as a probe leaves, they'll pull it off of there. In fact, that's not what GuMiho did this time, but a lot of Terrans will do that just to kind of mess with the Protoss now and not reveal if they're going to go for something like a 1-1-1 or an expand. It's kind of a cool little trick that a lot of the Terrans are doing. Oh, and a factory for GuMiho. He is doing the similar build to the last game. Could be a 1-1-1. Yeah, he didn't get the gas first this time, so it's not quite as quick of a factory, but this is a pretty good start for doing something on one base. He's got his he did actually get his orbital finished first this time. A little bit of a different monster, obviously. Oh, second gas, too. And second gas, so starport likely, I think. I would think so. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do out of this. He's going to put the reactor down on the barracks there, like we can see. Could be reactored Hellions. Otherwise, it could also be cloaked Banshees while just producing a good amount of Marines as well. Sometimes you go cloaked Banshees into a 1-1-1 sort of one-base thing. Otherwise, what a lot of Terran players have been doing lately has been going Cloak Banshee Expand, too, which has been kind of interesting. You know what's always tricky with casting Terran versus anything is sometimes you'll get comments like, why didn't you ever check what the Zerg base was doing? And it's like, well, their structure's totally different. Like, Terran, you have to keep watching them constantly because they'll switch stuff around. Zerg, it's like they're building something at their hatchery. Like, pretty much. That's what's happening. It doesn't matter where their tech buildings are for the most part. I mean, sometimes they'll do something sneaky with their tech buildings, but for the most part, it's like, we saw it in the production tab. You really don't need to know much else. Like, Terran, it's like they're flipping around, they're building different stuff. It's crazy all the time. You have to keep a watchful eye. And even Protoss, it's like once you see where their production is started, you're pretty much set. Like robotics facility, it's gonna be here the whole time. Gateways don't matter. They're gonna warp in wherever they feel like it. Dude, so they were gonna have something in StarCraft 2 where you could move Protoss buildings around. Yeah, that's right. They were gonna have like phase cannons originally that could be moved. That was weird. Oh, nice little force field trapping that Hellion. All right, well, at least we saw the explosion. That's right. That's the important part. Tassadar going Gate Robo Gate, which is a pretty safe build to do. You know, he might decide to add a third one on there, but I've got a feeling we're going to see him expand off of this. And this is going to be a good build, just kind of stay safe against what GuMiho has planned. So this is weird, but I just noticed this is a face at the moment as well. We have an eyeball, nose, like a weird smiley face. Yeah, it's like a little bit misshapen. He's like a misshapen pig or something, I think.
Is.
Like a snout right there, and the space shark.
One of the bad guys from Captain Planet. That's kind of what he looks like. Oh, there's a Nexus for Tassadar. So, oh, look, it's unit/name/Ursadak female 2.
If a funny story about unit/name/Ursadak female 2.
Okay.
She's actually from the 9 Vespine Geyser on Atlantis spaceship.
Oh, that's right.
She fell to this planet.
That's where unit/female/Ursadak
female 2.
Female 2 came from. That makes sense.
Ursadak calf.
Ursadak calf.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. She doesn't look a day over calf age. She's aging gracefully. So Immortal on the way for Tassadar. A couple more gateways as well to stay safe. A little bit of push coming out here from GuMiho. He has stayed on one base.
Oh my god.
It's going to be pretty strong here, but Tassadar, you know.
Look at just this units tab. That's
a
lot. Man. That's a lot of stuff.
Well, a lot of times will want Colossi in this case to try to hold off this type of thing, but Tassadar not going for that. So will he be able to hold this push? It's not coming quite as quickly as GuMiho could send it. He skipped. Cloak just went right for tanks and Banshees at the same time.
We had one evidently got a kill with it, so he is going to draw the attention of Tassadar. Tassadar knows this is coming, obviously just lost a probe, had the observer tailing that reinforcement also. He's got a pylon placed up here, which I'm beginning to think may not be that valuable unless he can go for a counterattack at the natural while this encounter is going on. I just don't know yet, but we'll switch back to the production tab so we can see what's going on here. Siege Tech being researched for GuMiho as well as a 3rd base in construction, or is that just
that's the second notable. Yeah, that's a notable thing to take note of for GuMiho. He did decide to expand off it, so this isn't quite an all-in 1-1-1. This is just something where you move out on the map, get aggressive, maybe try to shut down your opponent's natural or something like that, or you drop siege tanks and Banshees into there
on the low ground. Maybe?
Oh.
No, probably not.
Huh.
They wouldn't be in range.
Yeah.
Could be a fun trick, though. Just for this.
Oh, look at that. Oh, this is so cool.
GuMiho's murdering.
You are so good, man.
And he supply blocked him with that pylon kill.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know what? Siege tanks flying through the air are pretty good against stalkers. That's crazy, man. Look at that. He's just dropping off the siege tanks. Oh, he does not want to lose that medevac.
Yeah, he needs to get out of town.
That was close.
Once the Immortals arrive, tanks are like, "Can we leave, please, Mr. Medevac pilot?"
Kidding.
Or Miss Medevac pilot, as it always is. 100%
Medevac pilot.
Yep. Miss Medevac pilot. Oh well, he's not done yet. He's sieging up on the low ground, blowing stuff up. I like it. Blocked him again there, and that's a fly count.
Oh, picks up before the Immortals get there too. GuMiho.
Stargate
was just playing with his opponent. Yeah, Stargate for Tassadar. This is turning into such an interesting game. We had sort of a 1-1-1 expand from GuMiho. Tassadar going that very safe gate, robo, gate, getting those Immortals out for safety, and then going into a Stargate, which is something that we don't see terribly often in TVP lately. He must have heard about the Phoenix buff that's going to happen. He's like, I'm just going to start making more Phoenixes now to get used to it, I guess.
That's probably what it was. I'll just lose continuously until this patch comes out at an unknown time.
I think that's so good.
That's a pro strat, actually. Yeah. What is going on? A warp in. Oh my goodness. So Tassadar thinks, I just lost some pylons. I'm going to sack 3 zealots. But GuMiho actually lost a Marine already. He's sending 1 zealot into the supply depot wall, so that's going to be effective.
He's actually tearing through those units right there.
He's got 2 kills so far. The supply depot has not fallen, and now the zealot's dead. So I don't think this was good. He didn't do anything.
It pulled GuMiho back to his base, which is kind of the idea behind that. You know, you get a couple SCV kills off. It's not terribly expensive to do.
That zealot was so persistent. He's like, I'm being surrounded. Must kill depot.
I got to tunnel my way through this depot. Oh, Phoenix.
Dos Phoenixo.
Yep, Phoenix.
So yeah, that's a dead Banshee. GuMiho's like, all right, no more Banshees for me. I'll just keep building medevacs and Marines at this point.
That's a good way to go. I mean, why not? Space Shark observing everything. He's a referee for this match.
I hope the Phoenixes don't find the Space Shark and decide that it's a hostile unit. Like,
well, Space Sharks are pretty endangered, so...
That's true. There's only 1 presently.
Oh, he's got to be careful with those Phoenixes.
Yeah, they don't have 6 range yet. Slow down, Tassadar.
Despite their... It's true. Despite their name, they don't come back, too.
Oh, man.
Isn't that funny? Like, every Protoss unit comes back except for the one called the Phoenix. What's up with that, man?
Well, Immortals get to die multiple times, and Phoenixes don't come back. I think their grasp of English is not that great. But the Marines trapped in front, but really not too much damage
That is
hitting
a
them.
lot of Immortals.
Mostly these Immortals trying to clean up and hit the tanks before dealing with the Marines. So the Marines counter the Immortals counter the Siege Tanks being far enough back means that GuMiho is actually going to be able to dispatch a couple of those Immortals before they can kill the tanks. But very low health there, and GuMiho, he likes his odds. He's going to keep moving forward here. You can see Immortals blasting down these Marines as fast as they can. No focus fire on the Immortals.
Those Immortals getting so low, one taking out already. The Phoenixes go down, and this natural expansion is in a huge amount of trouble. Oh, but the first Colossus hits.
Does not have extended thermal lances from the looks of it.
Just regular thermal lances.
Yeah, they're not extended. Nope. They're still thermal, though, surprisingly.
That's right.
Actually, before you get the upgrade, they're not thermal.
Well, you know, all the Colossus these days are getting the thermal lens extension.
That's true.
It's a very popular cosmetic surgery.
Yeah, and really it's the never mind. This is gonna go too far. I can already tell.
I was
GuMiho,
talking about like hair extensions. What were you thinking, man?
No, yeah. Well, I was gonna do something about pharmacies and lobbyists and big government, and I didn't want to go into it.
The FDA does not approve thermal lens extensions. So.
That's true.
All right,
they're not natural.
Taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, notably Tassadar is dying, I think. Not.
Well, he's being patient. He's biding his time till that second Colossus comes out, and here he goes. Is he going to be able to save the Nexus? Oh, it's so low. Oh, man. Are you serious?
Well, GuMiho still has a great Marine spread.
Yeah,
and there's
GG.
the GG, actually. So that is going to be another win for FXO right now.
Wow, no kidding. GuMiho, the unstoppable, terrifying Totalitarian, terrifically leaving NSP Tassadar in tatters.
Leaving doesn't start with T, you dummy.